녹음기 에러가 나서 스피치 음질이 좋지 못한 점 양해 부탁드릴게요.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
How many times have you heard or read "Never give up"?
One.
Probably not, right? Did it touch your heart? For me, not really, because I am the queen of giving up. My husband often tells me, "Jin, you give up too easily. Like I cannot ride a bike, I cannot swim. I've tried, but I'm not a strong-willed person." But they are just small examples among all the things I gave up in the past. I can think of a couple of things that might have changed my life drastically if I didn't give up. In middle school, I was into manga and anime, so I wanted to learn Japanese. I even took classes in university, but now all I remember is a few words like "sugoi," which means great, "oishi," yummy. If I continue to learn Japanese, I might have chosen to go to Japan instead of Australia. I might be living in Japan now instead of America, but I gave up learning Japanese. When I was in elementary school, I learned to play the piano. I loved it, and I was good at it too. I had big hands and long fingers. When I was in university, I joined the piano club. I was one of the top piano players, so I got to show off my piano skills. Whenever I had guys that I liked, I played the piano to impress them, including my husband. I even tried to learn jazz piano and how to compose music. If I continued to play the piano, I don't think I would have become a musician because it would have been difficult to make a living. But I might have started a YouTube channel about music instead of English and culture. But I gave up playing the piano. A lot of people don't know when to give up or are afraid of giving up. But giving up doesn't make you a loser. It actually frees up some room. So it gives you chances to try something new and discover that something you might actually like or you might actually enjoy. But there are certain things that you should never give up, like being a decent human being. No matter how many times I was hurt and burned by people, I didn't stop believing and trusting people. I've been bullied. I've been a victim of a pyramid scheme. I have experienced pseudo religion, all because of friends. But I don't build a friendship based on doubt. In fact, I am great at seeing good in people. It's one of my gifts. There are some things that I'm glad I didn't give up, like doing YouTube. I wanted to give up a number of times. In the beginning, when no one was watching my videos, I was discouraged. After people started watching my videos, trolls attacked me for no reason, so I got hurt. I put so much effort into making videos, but they were not getting good views, so I was depressed. But doing YouTube gave me opportunities that I've never imagined before. I'm going to be an author at the end of this year. When I was in high school, I wanted to be an author. I wrote short stories, shared them with people. I had friends who had similar interests. We made amateur magazine out of A4 paper and staplers. We had a lot of fun together. Back then, being an author seemed like a pipe dream. But 20 years later, that dream is about to come true. So I realized that giving up doesn't always mean you're gonna be done with it for good. Sometimes you can still continue to achieve your dream through different paths. Then how did I know what to give up and what not to give up? It was simple for me. I listened to my heart and followed my heart. There's one more way. If you're torn in between, do I want to continue or give up? Think about stress and pleasure. I was sad and hurt because of YouTube, but the pleasure of sharing my knowledge and ideas was bigger, so I kept going. If it were the other way around, I would have quit. Successful people say, I have become who I am because I never gave up. Well, I am who I am now because I knew when to give up and moved on. If you're holding on to things and afraid of let go because of time, money, and effort you've invested, even when it's no longer serving its purpose, this is what's going to happen. Let's say you have a glass full of water. No matter how much water you try to pour into it, it's not going to stay. It will only spill. Sometimes you need to make room before moving forward. Thank you very much.
People say never give up. 사람들은 결코 포기하지 말라고 한다. But sometimes giving up is the best option. 하지만 때로는 포기하는 것이 최선의 선택일 수도 있다. Because you realize you're wasting your time. 계속하는 것이 그저 시간 낭비일 뿐이라는 사실을 깨달았을 때 말이다. 작자 미상.